Hello and welcome. I am here to talk about highlighting. I know a lot of people have a problem with kind of just figuring out exactly where you should highlight, and I'm going to give you a few ways on how I highlight with my concealer. So I use Younique's Mineral Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer. You have to use the teeniest, tiniest amount to get a look that I personally like, and it is honestly the best concealer I have ever found. I have bags. I've always had them even before I was a mom, and I've always had problems with trying to find a concealer that wouldn't crease or make me look like you could see my fine lines or wrinkles, and that was not the case with this. Once I found it, I was like, the angels have spoken. So I wanted to show you how I apply it and with what products and where I put it. So I go 2 shades lighter than my foundation for highlighting. You may not want to go that light if you're trying to conceal more so, but you'll see the difference of my foundation shade to this 2 shades lighter. So this is just a blending bud that you can get from like Marshall's or wherever. And I put just a little bit, I kind of just like smeared it down because I was getting it off the side. But you can see it's really not a lot, and that should be enough for my whole face. So I also use rose water. Oops. This, you can also wet your bud with a setting spray. You can also just wet your bud with just normal water. So I spray it a few times. I like to use the rose water with it because it helps with lightening dark areas. So I feel like it is a 2-in-1 type deal. So I just place it where I'm going to spread it out, which is along my jawline, on my chin, under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, and then a little on my forehead. And that is where I highlight. Now, to avoid getting those fine lines and wrinkles, you don't want to go too close up here. You just want to definitely hit those dark circles and then bring it down. Rather than doing just covering your dark area, you want to do it in more so of a triangle shape, and it will make for the blending to look much better and more natural. Whereas if you were to just cover your dark circle, you're literally just going to attract attention to that, which is obviously not what you're wanting to do. And then for your jawline, this is just going to create that slimmer effect. Don't worry about my little guy here, but this is just going to slim out that jaw. Same thing. So I'm just patting it on. You want to make sure that your blending bud stays wet, or else it's going to just be soaking up your product, and obviously that's just a big waste. So you can see already, like, I look much more awake and brighter. I love it, and I literally did not use a lot, so I'm just going to do another spritz of rose water. It smells amazing. It smells like roses. And again, in that triangle shape. So I go down towards my nose and then out towards my temple. And be careful of my eyeliner. This is also at the point where I would clean up any eyeliner or eyeshadow boo-boos that I maybe made. I would clean that up with the concealer. And then don't forget the bridge of your nose. Okay, and that's it for highlighting. And do you see how my face went from, it was still awake. I did already apply our, I don't have it here, but I did already apply our liquid foundation before I jumped on here. So that is all I had on my face, of course, besides my eye makeup. But it just brought my eyes like, bam, more awake. I look more alive. And now the only thing that I do suggest to, especially for me, I'm oily skinned, I would suggest to, here we go, our Behold translucent setting powder. I like to set this right on top to make sure that that stays on. This is what you would use if you wanted to do baking also, where you just kind of cake on a lot of this and let it sit. So I use a puffy powder puff brush, and I just place it on top, just kind of like pat all over my face. And I'm gonna just place it on top of wherever I put that highlighter or that concealer. The concealer is a dewy finish, so that's another reason why I do this setting powder, is because I am oily skin, so I really like a matte finish. So this lets me keep my highlight color and keep that brightness, but giving me that matte feel. And then from here, I will obviously go into contouring and all that stuff, but that'll be a whole nother video. So thank you guys so much for watching. And there we go. It's amazing. If you want a color match for concealers, we have plenty of options. Like I said, this is 2 shades lighter than my foundation, and I can do everything over the phone. So I'd be happy to help, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.